Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another live stream here on the channel. Hopefully everyone is having a fantastic Thursday so far. So far, we have Haywood, Chris, Anna, Johnny, Ben, Northeast Weather, as well as Lakeisha and Logan in the chat, as well as also welcome everyone else who is tuning in. May not be chatting, or if I forgot to welcome you, glad to have you in here for another stream. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. I guess we'll just switch over to our severe warning scene. It is officially May. It is officially May. It is May 1st today. We are finally through a very active April month. And we are beginning May quite strong here with the threat for quite widespread significant severe weather, specifically in Texas and Oklahoma today, but also the chance for some significant damaging wind gusts back up here in the northeastern side of the U.S. into the eastern Midwest U.S. I did want to go ahead and go live here because we are seeing some supercells that will likely explode over clean. They're actually exploding right now in Texas. And then also, we do have a significant severe that was just issued out here for Maryland, Western Maryland. That was issued literally just seconds ago. We've got a Tor possible severe thunderstorm warning approaching Cumberland in west central Maryland here. It also has 1.75 inch hail and 60 mile-an-hour winds with it. So quite the intense thunderstorm here, right on the edge of that slight risk and marginal risk for severe weather out here in far western Maryland. Also, plenty of severes to track out here in northeastern Ohio. There's severe weather all over the place up here. We've got a bit of a line forming and hitting the Cleveland metro. Another line back out here towards Newark, Ohio. Some semi-discrete cells in northeast Ohio, northwestern Pennsylvania as well. So just plenty of severe weather to track. Not really anything tornadic outside of that Tor possible severe in western Maryland. We're not really expecting much of a tornado threat today. We could see a spin-up tornado or two. Also a spin-up tornado threat out here in Texas. If we manage to get the correct amount of lower level wind shear going. But overall, not a very high threat for tornadoes today. That's why not many people are covering the risk. We don't really have actually, look at that. They just added that 2% tornado risk back. They just added that back here in southeastern Oklahoma and northeastern Texas. They added that at the morning update at 9 a.m. Eastern. Then they removed it at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And now they've added it back at 4 p.m. Eastern. They've added that tornado risk back out there in Oklahoma and Texas. And then we do have a large 2% tornado risk way up here in Ohio, Kentucky, down towards Tennessee, into West Virginia and Pennsylvania. Again, could just see a spin-up tornado or two, nothing too crazy. Let's go to the wind threat here. Wind threat, widespread 60-mile-an-hour winds. Could get gusts up to 70 up here. The more focused area for damaging winds will be in MCS in the overnight hours. Potentially a quite dangerous situation if you do live out in this area, as we will have an overnight line of potentially 70 to 80 mile per hour winds make its way from Amarillo, Texas, all the way likely through the OKC area. They did not upgrade this to an enhanced risk, but it very well may be an enhanced worthy threat for damaging winds. Wouldn't it be, if we get a really good organized line going tonight, I wouldn't be shocked to see winds as high as 90 in south central Oklahoma, north central Texas. It would not surprise me if that line really gets going, but if it stays clustered, that wind threat will be closer to 70 mile per hour winds. Also, the hail threat today, they've added 2 different hatch risks for hail back out here in Oklahoma and Texas. The main area for hail, in my opinion, is really going to be back out in Texas, south central to really central Texas. There could get up to 3-inch hail right in clean or around that area with these supercells, depending on how vigorously they explode over the next hour or so. Tomorrow, we've got another large slight risk for severe weather. Most likely will end up streaming tomorrow as well, pending on if I chase the marginal threat in my area. Tornado risk tomorrow is still the same as today, but generally a still large 2% tornado risk. So it's not a large risk in terms of high probability, but it is a large risk in terms of size and population. Almost 12 million people under the gun for a spin-up tornado there tomorrow. Damaging winds could approach 70 miles per hour, and hail, yet again, could get up to 3-inch in diameter back out here in Texas. And then going into day 3, we have a big marginal risk, almost for 100 million people here, all the way from Boston in eastern Massachusetts, all the way down to Mobile, Alabama, almost into Tallahassee, Florida, and then back out in the eastern coastlines of North Carolina and Virginia. Big marginal risk there. I do think they could introduce a slight risk. If we go to their discussion, they mentioned upgrading this to a slight risk. This is them talking about removing the marginal in southern Texas. But right here, there is a potential for an eventual upgrade to a slight risk, which is a level 2 out of 5 in portions of the marginal risk area. They haven't done it, though, because there's uncertainty regarding the evolution of convection and how much instability will be present. But there is a chance for a slight risk, probably right over the Appalachians, to be honest with you, like eastern Tennessee, eastern Kentucky, southern West Virginia, western Virginia, and then western North Carolina. Generally in that area looks the best for severe weather on Saturday. And we'll keep going with this risk for severe weather. On day 4, there's no threat at the moment, but we'll switch back over to Texas on day 4. There'll be the threat for some cells out there. So just consistent severe weather, no big tornado risks in terms of probabilities. We could see a couple tornadoes here in the first week of May, but nothing looks to be like significant tornadoes or long track tornadoes or anything like that. It looks to be just multiple days for the opportunity of spin-up week tornadoes for the first couple days of May. We may go ahead and chase. I don't know, Lakeisha. I think Saturday has the best chance for me and Lucky to chase together, since that will be most likely a better opportunity for daytime thunderstorms. But we also could end up chasing tomorrow, too. We'll just make that call really last second. The issue with tomorrow is the main thunderstorms look to be in the mountains, like western NC, western Virginia. So, not good chasing terrain there. We did get a severe thunderstorm warning here out for Kleene and Gatesville, Texas for 1.25-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. So already getting some hail production out of these storms, even though they just fired. Just to take a look at the future simulated reflectivity here. Let's go ahead and push this out. So over the next hour, we'll see this supercell explode. It may have the opportunity to produce a tornado. I would not fully rule it out. Around 6 o'clock today, about an hour and a half, 2 hours from now, I would not rule out a tornado or two, generally around this vicinity, depending on exactly where that supercell tracks. And then as we go towards 7, 8 o'clock Eastern time, we just continue with that hail threat, very low tornado threat. And that just stays there really for much of the night until we get towards about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Eastern time. And then around that time frame of 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern time, we start to see our MCS begin to really explode here, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. The HRRR has kind of changed a bit. It shows hail and winds being the primary issue at first, but then it quickly grows upscale into a very significant line. And this is what I was talking about. If we do see a line that is this intense towards 4 a.m., 5 a.m., there may be the possibility for up to 90-mile-per-hour winds tonight in southern Oklahoma, but there's a lot of uncertainty on how those storms will evolve. If you take a look at instability, in the overnight hours, 2,000 instability is crazy. Having 2,000 CAPE at 5 a.m. in the morning, that is wild. So definitely could see a overperforming risk in southern Oklahoma. Also, it will have the threat for a few tornadoes here, especially as it gets into southern, southeastern Oklahoma and far northeastern Texas very early tomorrow morning. Then going into tomorrow, we'll switch back to simulated reflectivity here. There's a lot of uncertainty on how tomorrow will evolve in terms of severe weather, but we should have the opportunity for a couple tornadoes along much of this area in here. We'll continue to monitor that. I wouldn't be shocked if the greatest tornado threat is back out in Texas, but it depends on how that line tomorrow morning evolves. So if we see this line form and the line stretches more to the south like the NAM3K has, that can take up the environment down here and result in a lesser threat for severe weather. But if the HRRR scenario is correct and that line doesn't pass like the Fort Worth area, we should see an explosion of supercells tomorrow, generally to the south of Fort Worth, all the way back out towards Midland, Texas, around 2, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe a brief tornado or two. It can't be fully ruled out here. And like I said, we could see a 5% tornado risk. But I think the main threat with this will be hail and wind. I don't see a very notable tornado threat tomorrow either. We'll have to really watch this supercell towards 5, 6 o'clock today, about an hour, hour and a half from now. That could really explode over Clean, Texas. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then going way in the future here, really far, all the way to Saturday. And that's very far in the weather world. 48 hours, that's a lot of uncertainty. I really wouldn't take this seriously at all. This is probably going to change a lot, but generally we should see a line of severe storms in eastern Tennessee, central eastern Tennessee, and Kentucky form, mainly damaging winds, and a few instances of small hail will be possible. Could see a low-wind tornado threat develop over the Appalachians, maybe as far east as where I am here in Martinsville, Virginia, maybe as far east as like Hickory, Wilkesboro, Mount Arion. We'll need to keep an eye on that. And like I said, possible chase mode tomorrow for this threat here. Some supercells may develop towards 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, and then also a possible chase mode Saturday for whatever this is going to end up being. And this actually, this reminds me of one of the better risks me and Lucky chased. It was a marginal risk for severe weather. We had a line that formed over Kentucky and Tennessee, and because of the forcing with that cold front and with that line, moisture actually went over eastern Tennessee, pushed along North Carolina, and it formed supercells along the Appalachians right here. So that might be something we have to keep an eye on for Saturday. If that is the case, that was one of the better risks I've ever chased here in Virginia, with discrete storms firing up in that area. I would definitely chase Saturday. So just going to keep an eye on that on Saturday if that line does happen. Let's see the trough. See if we got a good trough here. Yeah, see, you do have a very large area of defluence aloft, a really large area of defluence aloft here. So I wouldn't rule that scenario out if this does actually happen and if this is correct. It would definitely be a good day to chase in Virginia, North Carolina on Saturday. All right, back to the current weather here. We just got a new severe for 1-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds barely to the east of Cumberland. That's over Pleasant Grove and Flintstone. Looks like the hail threat with this storm is beginning to die out. Tornado threat is also beginning to die out, but still a severe storm, so stay away from doors and windows there in far western Maryland. Couple severe still, some hail being reported out of this little tiny cell east of downtown Cleveland, Ohio. About 1 to 1.2 inch hail being reported there. So just keep that in mind. They did just remove that severe storm. I doubt they will re-severe that. I don't see why they would. Just maybe some small hail falling out of these storms here and some gusty winds of 30 to 40. Not really anything too crazy. The larger hail threat will be with these storms up here currently in far northeast Ohio, far northwest Pennsylvania. 1.5 inch hail with those. And then some severes back out to the northeast of Newark, Ohio. Look at that, 0.00 inch hail right there. No hail. Let's go back over here. I want to go back to Texas. Let's see. Dumb question. No question is that dumb, really. Especially in weather, there's so much uncertainty. Does the Earth's axis create troughs? No, I do not believe so. So troughs are simply just low pressures, just because of how the Earth is just rotating and how Earth is, we get troughs. Just our weather system as a whole. It's not necessarily created by the axis of Earth. But that, to some extent, I'm sure that does, control somewhat the troughs and how the Earth rotates. Not its axis, not like how it's degreed and angled. But the Earth rotating, yeah, that's literally what creates weather. Yeah, if the Earth just stopped rotating, yeah. I believe there's a YouTube video on that. I swear I watched a YouTube video, like, what if the Earth stopped rotating? Yeah, Earth's rotation literally causes our weather. But the axis doesn't necessarily correlate to troughs. At least, I believe so. You might have to ask somebody who's been studying it for like 40 years. Let me go back to... I want to check mesoanalysis on this storm. We have 6,000 uncapped instability here, but it did just update, so I want to see if that went down or up at all. Our main hail threat begins right now. It actually went up to 6,500 now. Man, what are lapse rates? Lower level lapse rates. 8.5 to 9. And mid levels, hopefully they're around 7. If they're around 7, that's good for hail. They are at 7.5. So yeah, we are looking at some big time hailstones being possible here. About a fourth of you guys have hit that like button so far, so just a friendly reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. It goes to support the channel, push us out to more people, and hopefully we can help some people be weather aware today. I want to go to the newest HRRR here. Yeah, see, this would be an issue. This would be an issue here. This is where that threat for potentially up to 90-mile-an-hour winds could occur if we saw a squall line that intense. But there's a lot of uncertainty on that. Some models have backed off on that. Like, for instance, the older HRRR didn't have as good of a line. The newest one shows a very intense line. The newest NAM 3K model run, that shows it too. that shows it too. Nowhere near as good of a tornado environment, not even remotely as close. Why is that? I think it's going to be wind shear. You see, the HRRR has a much better environment for tornadoes, southern Oklahoma, northern Texas. NAM3K has just very weak ingredients there. Then going into tomorrow, okay, the NAM does initiate now. So the 12Z model run didn't have that much intense supercells because we had a line. See the NAM 12Z here. It took a line straight through our main risk area tomorrow, and that took away all the instability. Now that doesn't happen anymore, and we see a bunch of supercells fire all over central and southern Texas. And you can see a very favorable environment portrayed by the NAM and the HRRR. So I wouldn't rule out a couple tornadoes somewhere like right in here tomorrow. We'll see as we get to morning observations tomorrow. We'll be able to find out how good that threat may be. Hopefully messiness keeps it from doing much tomorrow. There we go. So we have just a cluster of storms here over Killeen, Texas. It should merge into one very large supercell here over the next 30 minutes, posing a big-time hail threat. Like I said, up to potentially apple-sized hail being possible here. The NWS has 2.5-inch hail being likely. So likely going to see 2.5-inch hail somewhere in this watch area. Very small watch. Definitely one of the smaller watches we see. We've seen a tornado watch, though, for like 5 counties. So it's not the smallest watch we've ever seen, but it is a relatively small watch. For instance, back up here in Ohio, Pennsylvania, this watch is quite large compared to the one out here in Texas. Yeah, flooding, I believe flooding is the leading cause for deaths in the U.S. weather-wise. I'm pretty sure it's above tornadoes and like lightning and winds. And the thing is, the unfortunate thing is if you have like a big severe weather event, you're going to probably see flooding with how much heavy rain those bring. Hurricanes, you know, those have tornadoes, damaging winds, but they also bring a big flooding threat. So flooding, it's just always an issue. And it's something that can occur so quickly and just catch people off guard in the matter of minutes. Especially if you're in a flash flood prone area. Okay. Memphis, Tennessee. Tomorrow will probably be your main threat for severe weather. They dropped that slight risk for severe weather over Memphis. We used to have a slight risk, but about 20 minutes ago they dropped that. Tomorrow it looks like the main threat is probably going to stay east of Memphis, but Memphis will at least get the chance for thunderstorms at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Or right around 1 p.m. tomorrow. So you do want to be weather aware tomorrow. You're in the risk for a spin-up tornado threat. Mainly damaging winds, though. A lot of damage reports here and observed wind gusts. Really, all of these are sub-severe. You see 58, that is a severe storm report there. That's a damage report of trees snapped. So none of these are very notable reports. Another 58. 58 mile per hour wind gust is a severe storm. So just a few reports that actually classify as a severe wind gust out of these clustery storms here. So this is going to be the main storm we watch over the course of this live stream, however long that may last. The biggest limiting factor with this supercell is the fact that it has no lower level wind shear. So if this happened later, it would probably pose a decent tornado threat, but because it's happening now, we could still see a spin-up tornado out of it. I just doubt it's going to be anything, anything that we really need to pay attention to or worry about. Another mesoscale discussion just issued from the Storm Prediction Center back out here. That includes South Central Pennsylvania, Western Maryland. So the main hazards with this MCD: chance for a spin-up tornado, 1-inch hail, and 60-mile-an-hour winds are all possible. I highly doubt that tornado threat will be much of a concern. Oh, okay. Very old MCD there. I clicked the MCD number, and instead of it sending me to the MCD that you see here, the mesoscale discussion in southern Pennsylvania right now, it sent me to a mesoscale discussion in central and western Texas from almost a year ago, from May 4th. Wrong mesoscale discussion link. That'll be fixed in a second. It takes a minute for it to render in. It happens often. We go back over to mesoanalysis here. So this is your ingredients today. I want to show you why I believe we could see up to 3-inch hail. So the easiest way to tell that is the skew T. So the red is your temperature, the green is your moisture / dew points. And see how much temperature change there is specifically in this area right here. The lower levels is crazy change. Crazy change with temperatures, with height there. So hail loves cooling with height. And the more cooling we have, the better and stronger the updrafts will be. So typically we look for at least 6.5, if not 7 kilometer lapse rates for good updrafts. And with this, if we go to point values and we find lapse rates, that is 8.3 in the 0 to 3 kilometer and 7.1 in the 500 to 700 millibar level there. So really good lower level and mid-level lapse rates. Instability there is about between 6,000 to, oops, let's move that back over, to 6,000 to 6,500 over that current severe storm right there at that red cursor. Observations, that's something I haven't looked at. I'm not going to lie. I haven't looked at the actual observations here in terms of temperatures and dew points. So looks like your temperatures are at 85 and your dew points are at 70. So that is a 15-degree temperature dew point spread. What that means is cloud tops may be a little bit more elevated, a little bit higher, due to the dew point and temperature spread being so far apart. But I don't think that's really going to hurt the tornado threat much today. Why? Because we don't really have much of a tornado threat. So we're really just looking at a spit up tornado today, but that main issue is hail. I'm really looking at this in terms of hail. 70-degree dew points, 85 temps. That is extremely favorable for very large hail. Lower level jet, I bet we have nothing. Yeah, no lower level jet. Mid-level jet, 500 millibar, I bet we have pretty much nothing. Yep, nothing there. And then wind shear, lower level. Oh, there's a little pocket of 50, but that's not really going to be enough. You can see your hodograph. It's honestly, it's not horrible. That's not a horrible hodograph. Not as bad as what I was thinking. Not as bad as what I was thinking. Largest hailstone I've ever tracked. So that was last year. We had 7 to 8 inch hail in Texas. That was the largest hailstones I've ever tracked. Last year was crazy for hail. I believe it was 7-inch hail. Yep, June 2nd, 2024, 7.25-inch hailstone was recorded. That is what I tracked. 7.25-inch hail. I knew it was between 7 and 8. I just didn't know exactly what, but there you go. 7.25. That is the Texas state record for hail. It used to be 6.4 in 2021, and then last year shattered that at 7.25. For some reason, I don't remember streaming that. I know I tracked it, but I don't remember actually streaming it. June what? June 2nd, June 25th, June 15th, June 2nd. Did a 2-hour stream on that day. Wonder if I was actually live for that. I might have ended my stream early. I want to see what time it was. 8:37 Eastern. I was not live. I was not live for it, but I was tracking it. We went live on that day, but we ended very early. I remember seeing it on my phone. But we weren't live for that hailstone there. All right, let's go back to our severe here in Texas. That's the main one to pay attention to today. That's the one everyone's really going to be watching because it has the best chance for big time hail and overall severe weather. We're getting very far down on severes. We're down to 3. We had about 8 or 9 when we started. See you later, Legacy. I'm not sure how long I'll be live today. I'm just here. I'm just here. Same goes for tomorrow. Today and tomorrow don't look big for tornado threats, so. They're not days that I think we need to be here for a bunch of hours. There we go. So we're down to 3 severes, 1 out here in Northeast Ohio, going into northwestern Pennsylvania for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. You can see that right in here. Both of these clustered storms going over Jefferson, Ohio right now. And then we have another severe western Maryland for 1-inch hail. Still looks like that's dropping quite large hail there. Maybe even larger than 1-inch hail yet again. That hail core keeps dying out and re-intensifying. And that's barely east of Cumberland in far western Maryland here. That biggest hail should be going right to the southeast of the I-68 corridor here. Right over the Western Maryland Regional Medical Center. Huge hail core there. I say huge because this is in Western Maryland. It's not very often you get really large hail like this in Maryland. I'm going to see the largest hailstone in Maryland. 4.5-inch hail in 1950. Yeah. That's crazy that we even saw 4-inch hail in Maryland before. That's just crazy to think about. When I think of large hail, the first state that comes to mind is Texas. Texas and South Dakota, because I know we had like 8-inch hail in South Dakota sometime, a bunch of years ago. And then Texas, because it seems like every year we are always tracking at least 5-inch hail in Texas at some point every year. Gotta be honest, this cell is looking a little bit messier than I expected. It's not really very organized there. Hello, Catman. Welcome to the stream. Once again, if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you are new to the channel, if you can, hit that subscribe button with the notification bell set to all. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers around hurricane season, probably during hurricane season. We're currently at 9.1K. Hello, Billy and Jen. Glad to see you in here. Let's see. How does southern West Virginia look? Border near Kentucky and Ohio. Okay, so you're talking about up here. So you're, depending on exactly where you are, you may be in a severe thunderstorm watch. It looks like that severe watch stops at the Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia state line there. So if you're in West Virginia, you're not under a watch right now. It really doesn't look that bad, to be honest with you. I'm a little surprised we have such a large slight risk today in this area. Main issue is 60 mile-an-hour winds. We could get a gust somewhere in this entire yellow area. We could get a gust up to 70. The chance that that's over you is like, very close to 0. So main issue there is just 60 mile-an-hour wind gust being the high end really for today. Storms will roll through here in about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. They're forming out here near Somerset, Kentucky, and they're going to move up into Ohio and southwest West Virginia. We haven't seen many 60 mile-an-hour wind gusts today. We've seen a lot of 40 and 50 and even 258 mile-an-hour wind gusts, but nothing has quite hit 60. These storms have been a little bit weaker than I believe the SPC was anticipating. Just got something new, a rainfall outlook. I really start to pay attention to the rainfall outlook when it goes moderate. Thankfully, we just have a slight today, slight tomorrow. And then day 3, it's just marginal. So not much flash flooding anticipated here in the U.S. It doesn't really look like anything too crazy. Southeast Texas, though, could get up to about 5 inches of rainfall over the next week. Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's not even in a severe watch. You have a severe watch, a county to your north and a county to your, well, 2 counties to your west. Looks like 60 mile-an-hour winds being the biggest issue there, probably towards 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to take a while for storms to get to you because they are forming right now way out here in south central Ohio. They got to get all the way up to Pittsburgh, and they're moving pretty slow. So I don't think you'll get anything too crazy. Could get an isolated gust as high as 60. That's what you're in the risk for. There's also a hail risk out here if we take a look at the hail risk, but that's on the northern side of Pittsburgh. Nothing like what you went through 2 days ago. 2 days ago, you went through much of the metro saw 90 mile-an-hour winds, especially the eastern side. Just an insane near derecho from 2 days ago. Nothing even close to that for today. 1-inch hail reports here west of Killeen, Texas. I don't think Connor is out here. I think Connor is taking a dip. Oh, well, he's live. I'll take that back. He is live directly under these storms. So he's going to stay with this storm all day because this is the main storm of the day. We're not expecting much more other than this supercell to get going here in Texas. Could be a few cells to its west, but nothing really has a good chance to produce a tornado outside of this cell. Let's see here. So Connor Croft is under this storm. I don't see much velocity signatures on it right now, but we could see it develop here. Could see an area of rotation develop well to the west of Killeen, Texas over the next hour or so. Caleb, the old overlays were good too. These are overlays we're going to be sticking with for a long time. I do have a new addition. You know, the automated warnings that you saw in the intro. You'll see it in the ending screen too. But, I mean, we're definitely going to have them. It's just, they don't, like, they're still going to need this overlay. There you go. I'm trying to think. Trying to think of exactly what. They still need a combination overlay. Because that's just a little bar at the bottom. It still is going to need the side overlays like what we have now. Actually, you know what? I could give you a quick peek. Let's see. There's one for you. Ta-da! That's what it's going to look like in the future. I'll need to angle my camera a little bit further down since the clock is so high up. But that's what overlays are going to look like probably in the future. I might patch it up a little bit. Maybe put another yellow bar under the text. But that's how we're going to have overlays in the future. But I have a lot of work to fix all those up. And the actual stuff at the bottom that's scrolling, like the counties and when stuff expires, that stuff needs some work. It's going to have a lot of updates over the next month or so. I feel short because my camera's angled so high. Is this what it feels like to be, like, lucky? So, Connor Croft's on this storm here, west of Killeen, Texas. I believe it's rotating a little bit in this area. According to Connor's feed. Should keep that overlay for the rest of stream. It still needs some work. Like, there's going to be an update that gets rid of those flash flood warnings if we don't want flash flood warnings. We have 5 flood warnings, most of which are in Puerto Rico. Which it's still important to have flash flood warnings there. The thing is, sometimes we can get like 18 to 30 of them, so sometimes they clutter up and the only thing you see at the bottom is going to end up being flash flood warnings instead of things like severe warnings or tornado warnings. I gotta fix the date, too. Let's fix that right now. There we go. Give me a second. Okay. So we're going to keep watching these severe storms here that Connor's on. The main thing we need to pay attention to is to see if this gets more discreet, which I think it's trying to. Pretty sure it is trying to. Right in here. Let's see. Yeah, like if these become more split supercells, they start moving more northeast or so, and this just becomes by itself, this could definitely end up trying to produce a tornado. I'll move my camera down a little bit. It's annoying me too much. Chat. There you go. Just the tiniest bit movement down. Show you Connor Croft's feed. There's also a lot of other overlays I'm gonna add too. I got a lot of work to do. I meant to do it today, but I'll be dead honest. I was lazy. I'll just be flat honest with you. I was lazy, and then I helped Lucky stream for an hour. I could have easily gotten it done. Let's see here. Yeah, Connor does have a little area of rotation here near Kempner, Texas, but it's nothing crazy. I'm looking for any bugs on that overlay. If you guys see any bugs on that, let me know. Because it's still experimental. It's a beta test. And I can report it very easily to the person who actually made it. Here we go. Yeah, Lucky did his monthly stream today. If you missed it, you got to come back in June. Maybe June 1st. He said he might go live Sunday, but anytime he says something like that, like a close stream, it just never happens. A lot of lightning with this storm as well. Where the heck did the radar go? There it is. Yeah, so this is really, really intensified over the last 10 minutes. It looks pretty healthy. It looks very healthy. These two need to die off or move northeast. And if that happens, this is going to be all by itself in 6,500 instability. So if you do live out here, I'll give you a heads up here. So if you do live in like Florence, Jarrell, is that the Jarrell? It might be the Jarrell. Florence, Jarrell, Belton, Temple, the Grove, just all these surrounding areas here. All these surrounding areas here, we're going to watch for the potential of a tornado threat. 3-inch hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds over the next, give or take, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. That is the Jarrell, the F5 tornado. I remember that. I don't remember tracking it. It was 1997. Yep, I was not alive back then, but I've heard a lot about that tornado. Definitely didn't track that one live, that's for sure. 1997. Plenty of new severes. What in the world? Where are they all at? We shot up to 8 severes. We got 1 in Pennsylvania. Oh, we got 2 more in Pennsylvania here. I bet 3. Yep, that counts as 2. That's what it is. So this is 2 severes plus 1. So we got 3 new severes out here. Just extensions. Nothing, no upgraded hazards there. And then we do have a considerable severe. Yep, right there for Rock Springs, Texas. Do you guys think I should add one more yellow color in between the overlay at the bottom? I can't explain it. You know what? I might be able to draw it. Between, see this scrolling right here? Should I add a yellow bar under that scrolling and above the main overlay that we've recently added? You want me to make an overlay? I remember last time I did an overlay, I made it live on the gaming channel. I made these overlays live on the gaming channel. Not this one, but the other overlays, the ones we've been using for like a year and a half. What I would do is I would probably push everything up a little. So I would delete some of the northern side of that SPC outlook, some of the top side of that SPC outlook. I'd shrink it because it goes into Canada and the SPC doesn't issue outlooks for Canada. And I'd push up the level threat, the severe threat, the date, and the face camera. Everything would go up a little bit. And make room for that yellow bar at the bottom. Here, I mean, we can just give a idea of what it may look like by hitting... Oh, it doesn't let me... What? What do you mean it doesn't let me do that live? Oh, I just hit it. I think I broke it. I think I have broken overlay. Oh, it's back. There you go. So it would be this yellow bar. Okay. So I would shrink this. Very laggy. Very laggily shrink this. And it would be right in here. Something like that. I can't grab it. It's too tiny. I can't grab it. I hate Streamlabs' little overlay thing there. Similar to that at the bottom. I like that a lot better, actually. But like I said, I would move everything up a bit so that way you could see the time better and, you'd be able to read the scroll thing. I like that a lot better. Trying to fix it up a little bit more. There you go. Something like that. It wouldn't be... There you go. So yellow at the bottom or no yellow? Because I feel like having that yellow kind of separates the screen from the very bottom overlay. But I'll fix all that when we're not live. Gaming channel, you can guess it. It's TRG Gaming. TRG Gaming on YouTube. There's, I think, 476 or so subscribers. Somewhere around there. Do a poll? Okay. You guys are going to vote on this. So, the yellow bar that just appeared, yes or no? Do you not want the yellow bar, or do you want the yellow bar for the overlay? And like I said, I would push everything more up so that way it would look cleaner, of course. It wouldn't block stuff like it is. There we go. There's our poll. Go ahead and vote. Like I said, I would fix it so it wouldn't look that sloppy. You know, that looks sloppy like I just flopped it over there. It would be in between, kind of like that. But again, you would still be able to see everything perfectly fine. And then that's no yellow bar at all. Looks like we're partially leaning towards an extra color. Yeah, Legacy, but it's really easy. All I do is all these overlays that I spent 2 hours making on the gaming stream for this channel, all I have to do is duplicate every last one of them, and then I'll have it. It wouldn't be that horrible. Alright, elsewhere, still a severe storm out there in northwest Pennsylvania and south central Pennsylvania, both for 1-inch hail, 60 mile-an-hour winds. Oh, we now have a PDS severe thunderstorm warning. Well, we're going to have to switch to our slightly older overlays, which are still... I still love these overlays. I don't know how many of those I'm going to add with that scroll thing at the bottom, because these overlays that we're using now, I really like. So there you go. We're now at a PDS severe thunderstorm warning for Rock Springs in South Central Texas. Caleb, I'll do that all after I end stream, buddy. Netocast does have a 5% over these cells, which makes sense. And it is cell splitting. So this storm is moving north. This storm's dying out, and this storm down here is going to start moving southeast. So if you are in front of that, Florence... Is that really a Texas town name? If you are in Florence or Ding Dong, Texas, make sure you're getting ready for a severe thunderstorm warning, as that will be pushing to the south-southeast. So the most dangerous storm is a PDS severe thunderstorm warning here for Rock Springs for 2.75-inch hail. All right, just last second to vote on that poll real quick. I'm going to switch back to this. So do you want a... Go back here. So do you want that yellow bar in between the main screen and the bottom overlay, or do you not want it? Yes or no? Yes or no? Those are the new overlays we're making. Last chance to vote before I go ahead and get rid of that poll, because it takes up half the chat on my screen. Let me go see how many people are in that PDS severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see here. NWS severe. And that PDS severe, there are 633 people, 2 schools, and no hospitals. Yeah, it looks like it is an overwhelming yes on that. 75 to 23. That is a quite overwhelming poll. Now, how about this? I'm going to do another poll. I apologize. It's just best to get feedback from the community, you know, because you guys are the people who are going to be watching the streams. The new overlay that you just saw, or the one that I'm currently using? New or old? Yeah, that's what I expected. 86 to 14. Yeah, overwhelmingly new. Oh, wait. Hold on. Old's making a comeback. I'll have to see how it looks on my phone and my computer to make sure the overlays are at least, make sure everything's good scale wise. There's still some polishing I'm going to do on the new one. The old one wouldn't go anywhere, Ben. Like, it's still, we're still going to use the old one, but we're just going to add that warnings at the bottom. Especially on higher end days, that would be very useful, because on higher end days, we have like 20, 30 severes and 10 plus tornado warnings, and I'm just not able to name out every last one of them. All right, this is sub-severe over Killeen, Texas. I can nearly guarantee they're going to add a new severe shortly with this storm, and it's probably going to be angled going to the southeast. Yep, there you go, new severe. It is significant too. 1.75 inch hail, 60 mile an hour winds. Is it too big, Ben? It would look weird though. Like if I have it in just one corner, it would look weird. That would just look weird, in my opinion. Like imagine that the scroll thing under my face cam that says the PDS severe thunderstorm warning. Imagine that was only for like half the screen. Still a PDS severe thunderstorm warning for Rock Springs in south central Texas. Back up into Ohio, we did just get more severe storms, so that now is a severe storm for Canton, Louisville, New Philadelphia. For the southern storm, 60 mile an hour winds, 0 inch hail. And then for Canton, actually a small hail threat with mainly 60 mile an hour winds being the biggest issue there. So you can see that new line that is reorganized here. Moving up to the north and east. Still a severe up here for Erie in northwest Pennsylvania. And then still a severe in Maryland and south central PA. Very, very slow moving storm there. There's a damage report in Cumberland, Maryland. Several trees down in the Cumberland area. Caleb, that would look horrific at the top of the screen. There's no way. That would look horrific. All right, so that's also overwhelmingly new. 75-25. Austin, Texas. I don't know how long the supercell is going to last, so that's tricky. It is angled. It's angled down towards Austin, but I imagine it's not going to move like dead south right towards Austin. So I would say probably not. I'm thinking it's going to stay north of Austin, and by the time it gets to Austin, it's probably going to die out. But I would still be weather aware if you're in Austin, Texas. Still, it's a little stationary right now. We're going to have to see when this really gets moving. You can see it is definitely shifted a little south. And look at that hook starting it. This is definitely going to try to produce a tornado here over the next hour. Listening to Connor Croft's feed as well. New severe out here in south central Texas. Let's see. Not for really any populated areas for Bluffton, Texas there. 1.25 inch hail and 60 mile an hour winds. Sherwood, Arkansas. Did you have like a tornado warning or something? Are you east of Little Rock? Yep, you know what? Yes, I saw if you didn't get a tornado, it was like 80 to 90 mile an hour winds over there. I almost went live for that, but then this scan and area of rotation died out in like 3 scans or so. But I almost went live for that. If that did have a CC drop, I was going to go live for it. I was ready to stream that. Was there any damage reports out there? I'm sure there was with a couplet of 90 mile per hour winds or 80 to 90. Let's see here. Okay, this is right over your area. Trees and power lines down. That was yesterday, of course. One to the northeast of this region. Trees blown over onto a house and a fence near the Cabot community. So that's up here. Tree down on a house. So a lot of trees down. Your house got damaged? Man, hate to hear that. Hopefully you can get it fixed pretty quickly, and hopefully it's not too costly. Last time I had damage to my house, it was actually damage to my garage, and it was a full tree that completely caved in on our garage. I have no idea what it cost or anything like that, but it damaged our garage really, really bad. It should be classified as a derecho, Joshua. The reason why it's not is because it didn't have a few more 75 mile an hour wind reports. That thing produced 90 to 95 mile an hour winds in the downtown Pittsburgh area. It caused almost 600 wind reports, and it tracked almost 500 miles from west to east. Okay, this is rotating. This might be tornado warned here shortly. It is a classic semi-discrete, actually very discrete, Eagle split supercell now. So that storm in the middle, it did exactly what I was talking about. Storm in the middle died, northern one became a left split, and the southern one is all by itself now. Oh man, excuse me. Still got the allergies going. Yeah, wouldn't be shocked if this gets tornado warned here at any point. In just a second, we'll switch over to Connor Croft's feed. 3, 2, 1. Big wall cloud and mesocyclone starting up. There you go. Caleb, I have that on, buddy. I've had that on my entire life. Ever since they added that. So, big time wall cloud here. This is now a PDS destructive severe. 2.75 inch hail has been observed by a trained weather spotter. It is a life-threatening situation for large hail over the Killeen, Texas area. So we now have 2 PDS severe thunderstorm warnings. And this really should be tornado warned, as you can see on Connor Croft's feed. It is a very strong area and very large area of rotation. Looks very strong towards the surface. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Still no tornado warnings active, but that might change shortly. If you want to go watch this feed for yourself and subscribe to Connor Croft, I highly recommend it. The channel is third link in the description for Connor Croft's feed. That will, if you hit that link, third link in the description, it'll take you to Connor Croft's live stream. You can subscribe to his channel there and watch exactly what we're watching right now. He has been live nearly daily for like the last 5+ days. He's been on a full grind, storm chasing all the way from Texas to Minnesota. How many days has he been chasing straight? It's been maybe even a week. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I believe 14, 13, 14 days straight, this dude has been chasing storms. Man. So this is again in Central Texas, just barely to the southwest of Killeen, Texas. If this does drop a tornado, which it is very, very possible, it is going to be right over the County Road 4630 area. Intersection between County Road 4630 and Road 2808. Just south of the Highway 190 corridor, just to the southeast of Log Cabin Cafe, which is well to the west of Killeen, Texas. No, Killeen, not Queen. Killeen, Texas. It's got a big time hook on radar too. Really, it could be tornado warned at any second. I'm really surprised it hasn't been tornado warned already. Because it's a very, very classic supercell. Only limiting factor with this is a lower level wind shear. If that improves at all, if we had more lower level wind shear, this could pose a strong tornado threat. So we'll need to keep an eye on that, see if we get any more wind shear over the next hour. Also, this will likely be a southeast moving tornado if it does drop. So again, you're watching Connor Croft's live feed of a likely large and pretty strong area of rotation that is sparked up out of a discrete supercell to the southwest of Killeen, Texas. It is currently a PDS severe thunderstorm warning for 2.75-inch hail. PDS means a particularly dangerous situation. Severe thunderstorm warning here. And it really should be tornado warned. It has a very classic supercell feature to it. I'll just slide the radar on over in front of you for a second. Sorry. Very, very classic Eagle split discrete supercell here. And you can see Killeen, Texas is right there. If we do get a tornado, it will drop right in this area. Come on, move back over. So that's where it's trying to drop a tornado. This is now tornado warned.
Southeastern Lampasas County in central Texas, west central Bell County in central Texas, Bell and Lampasas County in Texas.
So there you go. Uh-oh, windshield wiper got stuck right in the middle of the camera. He just said, get out of the way, wipers. That is a tiny tornado warning. Very small tornado warning there. Very small tornado warning. And weird one, too. I don't think Connor knows it's tornado warning just yet. His chat definitely knows. So Connor Croft is currently on a now tornado warned storm here for Kempner, Texas. Almost 5,000 people inside of this tornado warning. Even though it's a very small warning, there's almost 5,000 people inside of that. And now he knows it is a tornado warned storm. And a new tornado warning for an extension slightly to the south, just making that warning a bit bigger. So you'll hear a beep in a second. That's Connor Croft's feed. Third link in the description.
We got it.
That you can also hear right there.
Oh, really? Somebody's coming down actually using this driveway?
Uh-oh.
Tornado warning for northeastern Burnett County in south central Texas, Burnett County in Texas.
There you go. You heard Connor Croft's weather radio there too. Or phone, one or the other. I'm going to speed this up here. Get us to the live feed. Oh, I forgot to hit the like button on Connor's feed. I try to hit that. Sometimes I forget. Looks somewhat elevated. Buddy, it is literally tornado warned. even if it is a little elevated, it's still trying to produce a tornado. The area of rotation just fully did a deviant motion and moved southwest. It actually moved southwest on that newest scan. So the storm is moving... The heck? The storm just randomly started moving southwest on that newest scan. I think this will stay quite well south of Waco, Texas. It's going to head directly for Florence, Briggs, right around Kempner, Texas, and then eventually, it's a very slow-moving storm, so probably an hour and a half from now, it's going to head towards Georgetown, Jarrell, around the Florence area, north of Austin, Texas. All right. So we are under a tornado warning here. Currently a classic discrete supercell out here in Killeen, Texas. Tornado warning for Kempner, Texas, and angling towards Briggs and eventually into Florence, Texas. This storm is nearly stationary right now. It's been in this area ever since it formed about an hour and a half ago. And that area of rotation, I'll show you here. So it formed up here and actually moved southwest. It moved southwest with your hook echo, which is very, very, very odd. A southwest moving supercell. Looks like that's an outflow boundary, maybe, starting up there. I can see some sort of boundary right in here. Definitely a little boundary attached to this storm. So also downstream, you really want to pay attention downstream too, because this storm's probably going to try to stay tornadic for probably a couple hours, and it is moving off to the southeast. It should be moving off to the southeast right now, southwest for some reason, but it will start moving southeast soon, and that's going to take it somewhere in this vicinity here. So in the next hour or so, these are the areas that need to be keeping an eye on this storm very, very closely. We've got a tornado warning, two tornado warnings for this storm, including Briggs and Kempner in central Texas. If you're watching from Waco, Texas, this storm is going to stay off to your south. You're probably, at least in the short term, Waco, Texas is not going to see much. These storms are probably going to stay to your southwest for the moment. We got a new mesoanalysis. 6,000 instability still. I do want to see if that lower level wind shear is increased. We are up just a little bit on wind shear. Very little. We're up to about 35 0 to 1 kilometer helicity, so very low. Like I said, we typically look for 100 to 150. It's got 31. So imagine if this had a better kinematic environment. With 31 lower level wind shear, this is how classic of a supercell we're getting right now. Very textbook discrete eagle split supercell. And they do have it warned for 2.75 inch hail. I don't see that report, but a train spotter did report 2.75 inch hail with this storm. Rotation's weakened a little bit, but it will probably tighten back up here. I imagine in probably the next 5 minutes. It's probably going to tighten up very quickly. So please make sure you are in your safe spot if you're one of the... Actually, there was just under 5,000 people in tornado warnings here. But since we got that second one, yeah, there's around 5,500 people now inside tornado warnings. Because we got that second extension. So it's really going to just be this one storm that we track. I said that at the start of the stream, and it's really just going to be this one cell for the entire rest of the stream that we're watching. and it could last for multiple hours. Just to briefly look away from that whilst we get a new scan. Still some severes up here in Ohio. None of them are significant in Pennsylvania or Ohio, so we're not really paying close attention to those. But if you are in those severes, just make sure you're away from doors and windows and you will be fine. Our previous PDS severe thunderstorm warning, now down to 1.75 inch hail for Rock Springs, Texas. But we are still at a PDS severe warning for this storm here, 1.75 inch hail and a tornado warning there. See that rotation's trying to get tighter. Let's see, is it moving southeast now? It's still moving west, but you can see on that latest frame, it's trying to move southeast. It should eventually move southeast here. It is going to go right towards Ding Dong, Texas. So those towns I called out about I'd say 20 minutes ago for a potential tornado threat, that's where this storm is heading towards. Florence, Ding Dong, Texas, as well as currently in a tornado warning, Briggs, Texas, Maxdale, don't know how to say that, Ocala, Texas, just east of Watson, Texas, under a tornado warning there. Wichita Falls, your threat is going to be late tonight. You could get a spin-up tornado threat, but your main issue will be 60-mile-an-hour winds late tonight. Storms don't fire in your area until like 1 a.m. Central, so a very late night event out there. I mean, look at this very classic supercell. Very, very classic supercell. Connor Croft's feed is still down. Hopefully he can get that back up shortly. Give me a moment. Just wanted to tweet about this storm real quick. Okay, Connor's feed did return. He's got still a large wall cloud on this storm. And you can see it's not very tight. We still have these gray pixels in here. So that means it's not very gate to gate, but there is still a large area of trying to be strong rotation. And it is attempting to produce a tornado. Let me see how many miles south. About 4 miles to the southeast of Kempner, Texas. And now that just tightened up, this should drop a tornado at any second. This should drop a tornado, potentially a strong one, any second here. Wow. Just a very classic supercell. Super classic there. Now a flash flood warning in effect on the northern side of this storm too, because it's been stationary for so long. Alright, if Connor gets another good view of it, which he should in 5 minutes or so, I will show you guys his feed. Yes, this is in Texas. Our only tornado warning is in Texas, and it's actually technically 2 tornado warnings. Technically 2 tornado warnings here on one storm. Let's see here. So trying to drop a tornado directly over Road 223 here. All right, Connor's got a good view. I'm going to switch right over to him right now. That might be a funnel right in front of him. That might be a funnel right in front of him. I'm not for sure, but it is definitely a large rotating base. That easily could be a funnel cloud starting up right in this area. So likely a strong tornado trying to develop here. And that is a tornado on the ground. Likely a tornado on the ground there. Did you see how fast that tried to drop? And now it just fizzled right out. We'll see if it tries to drop again. Did you see how fast that was? I want to go back to that. Look how fast that developed. It possibly dropped for a second and then immediately lifted. And Connor says it's back on the ground. So tornado is on the ground here. Tornado on the ground, according to our chaser Connor Croft here. And this is going to go towards Briggs in Central Texas. It's already getting rain wrapped. So that first bit was probably a funnel cloud, almost a tornado, and then now it is a tornado. So there is a tornado on the ground now with this storm. Said it's a big tornado on the ground here. So likely a large and strong tornado on the ground southeast of Kempner, Texas, about 4 miles southeast of Kempner, Texas. A very, very slow moving, nearly stationary still. Can't tell how large it is. But likely on the ground. Yeah, very tight area of rotation. Gracious, look at that. Very, very, very tight rotation. Red Enrock. It looks like the storm, so the base of the storm still moved south with the hook staying still, so that might help destroy the tornado. But right now, it is likely a large tornado. That is it. That is it right there. That is a likely... That might be a wedge. Might be a wedge tornado. I can't tell ground contact, but... That might be a big tornado. Possibly a wedge on the ground. Jeez. Likely a very, very large tornado on the ground there. Man. Trying to find my phone here. I'm going to take a picture of his feed. I'm going to try to contrast enhance it. Do that from my phone. See if I can see it at all. Nah. Connor can probably see that large wedge in there. Likely a large wedge. Jeez. It's hard to say how large that is, but definitely a tornado on the ground. Let me 6-panel this real quick. There we go. Give me just a second. Oh, here comes a new warning.
Western Williamson County in south-central Texas,
Observed.
northeastern Burnett County in south-central Texas, Burnett, and Williamson County in Texas.
About 4 miles south west of Kempner, Texas. There we go. So large tornado, large strong tornado likely ongoing. Or is ongoing, my bad. Large strong tornado is ongoing. About 4 miles to the southeast of Kempner, Texas right now. I mean, I'm not like partnered by Connor, but he's he lets me use his feed. So therefore I always want to shout him out every time I use his feed. Third link in the description if you want to go see his feed and subscribe to his channel. Highly, highly recommend it. Yeah, this is definitely a strong tornado on the ground. Velocity is 64 and 71, so that's like around, I believe that's just under like 140 mile per hour rotation there. So definitely a strong tornado, likely a large tornado ongoing about now 3.5 miles south of Kempner in Texas. Give me a moment. So again, about 3 miles south of Kempner, Texas, large, strong tornado on the ground. Jeez. Don't know how large it is, but it is a large tornado. That is for sure. Here's radar. Very, very intense velocity couplet now. Jeez. So very strong tornado ongoing. Very classic supercell structure. That is an observed tornado warning, and my goodness. You are at Pink Enrot. Pink Enrot there. Long story short, just means a very strong tornado. My goodness. That is a huge tornado. Wouldn't be shocked if this goes PDS at any point. Currently, it has 3 observed tornado warnings on it. Wow. So this is, I mean, it's still like right in the same area where it formed. It looks like it's going towards Watson now. Watson in Central Texas. Watson in Central Texas. Still a observed warning. Still an observed warning. That is likely a huge tornado there. All right, Connor should have a visual on it in just a second. So we're going to go. Is that it? I think that's literally the whole tornado right there. Wait till he stands still. Right there, yep. That's it. That is it. Wow. Now it looks a lot smaller. It's literally shrinking. Literally shrinking right in front. And now it's getting larger. Very large. Got a shape-shifting tornado today. Okay, now it's moving dead southeast. It is a very deviant tornado. This thing has moved north, it has moved west, it has moved dead south, and now it is moving southeast. Also, observed 4.5-inch hail now on this storm. Observed 4.5-inch hail on this storm. Holy moly. Gracious day. Yeah, Connor, it does look like it's going right for you. Might want to get out of there. Alright, I need to see how far this is. About 5 miles south of Kempner now. Jeez. Getting rain wrapped yet again. Hopefully that's the hook occluding into the base of the supercell and this about a lift. Hopefully it occludes and lifts here. Wow. Absolute insane supercell and tornado. Again, also 4.5-inch hail observed with this storm. Okay, and those storms are completely stationary. Oh, unless they're talking about that little rain shower, but that probably wouldn't affect it at all. It's still on the ground. I see it. I can see it. If you stay a little bit away from your screen, you can see a big tornado, a little bit smaller than what I just drew right there. It is still a big tornado right there. Just go a little bit away from your screen. You can see it easily. Still a large tornado ongoing. Wow. Shocked this never went PDS. I mean, it still has a chance to, though. Yeah, just got the official tornado report, but obviously we've seen a tornado. Multiple chasers have confirmed a tornado is ongoing. That was 5 minutes ago, and it is... Pretty sure that's lifted. Pretty sure that is lifting right now. So that's the occlusion process right there. Still a huge funnel, possibly still on the ground there. You can see it just hovering over, no longer fully consolidated there. I mean, it looks like it's lifted to me, but I can't see if there's any debris there off of his stream. So you can see there's no fully condensated funnel here. It's just a huge funnel up here with possibly still a debris cloud. It's too hard to tell. Oh, huge. I believe huge CC. Yep. Now a huge CC. It just hit something. Yeah, now a huge CC popping up on radar. I don't know if it is still on the ground or if it's trying to touch back down, but it's very close to being on the ground if it's not. Connor says it's still down. Fully stationary tornado again. Yeah. Connor needs to be very, very careful here. Deviant tornado. Very deviant tornado. Man. Might be coming back down if it even lifted at all. Because that funnel, if that is still a funnel and not a full-blown tornado, it's gotten huge. Yeah, Connor just said it's going to recondense. That's what makes it tricky. You can't fully see it making ground contact, but it's likely still on the ground. I don't know if it's ever lifted. Now you see it just fully consolidated again. There you go. Right back on the ground. Fully on the ground. Just consolidated right back onto the ground. So still a tornado in progress just to the northeast of Watson, just to the south of Kempner, just to the west of Maxdale in central Texas. Give you an idea, this tornado's general location is 4.6 miles southeast of Kempner in Texas, approximately 5.7 miles northeast of Watson, Texas. Its movement is unknown. It has moved northwest, southeast, and done a full loop. So, beautiful tornado now. Holy crap. Just a beautiful tornado now. Hopefully over just trees or a field. Look at that. Holy cow. That is insane. Again, this is from Connor Croft's feed. Third link in the description if you want to go watch this feed for yourself. Gracious day. Sorry, I gotta take a screenshot. Sorry, I gotta zoom out too. Because I want to make sure I get Connor's channel name fully in. Man. 4.5 miles southeast of Kempner. Jeez. Connor does it again. I need to get his link. There you go. Also, there is Connor's link right there. This is now a PDS tornado warning. Now a PDS tornado warning. Wow. My goodness. So this is now a confirmed particularly dangerous situation tornado warning. This is not even in a 2% bin, but we went live for it because I knew something like this was possible. I knew something like this was possible. Man. Wow. Where'd it go? It's just fully... I looked away for like a minute. It's fully gone. fully rain wrap now. Man. Wow. Oh, I see it coming out of the rain again. You see it? I see the right edge. Man. There you go. You can barely see it. It's popping out of the rain for just a second. It's still on the ground here. PDS tornado warning. 5 miles southeast of Kempner, Texas. Wow. Can't tell if it's roped out. Connor said it is roping out. Man. Connor says he believes it is lifted. Man. Waiting for the newest radar scan here. Should be in 10 seconds. Wow. It was a fully stationary tornado for... Fully stationary. Like, barely moved at all. For about 9-10 minutes. It was not moving, like, whatsoever. Just very subtle shifts. Radar has it being fully stationary for at least 8 minutes. Is that still on the ground? That might still be a rope on the ground. Wow. Looks like it might actually still be on the ground. Now it's starting to move. Now it is starting to move quite a bit. Wow. That is crazy. Still a debris signature, so there's still it's still likely on the ground. Wow. So this is slowly but surely heading towards Briggs, Texas. Very, very slowly heading towards Briggs, Texas. Wow. Just an absolute jaw-dropping tornado from Connor Croft. Jeez. Still a really good area of rotation on radar. Trying to see it through Connor's feed, but it's very rain wrapped. Well, there it is. It's coming out of the rain again. Look at that. Huge, thin, in terms of length, huge. Rope tornado. Look how long that is. That is a huge, long rope. Again, in terms of length. And it's on the ground still. Dude, that is a long rope tornado. This thing has gone through so many shape shifts. It's crazy. Still definitely on the ground. Still definitely on the ground here. Wow. Jeez, man. Now look at it. It's a full sidewinding tornado. Look at that. Now it's a complete rope sidewinding tornado. What in the world? We're seeing everything with this tornado. Wow. Dude. It's moving, but it's still very, very slow. That's why Connor's literally been able to just stay in this area for like 10 minutes now. He's been in this area for 10 minutes or more at this point, just watching this tornado. Look at the motion on that. Like, look in the middle where it's a bit fatter. It's a little bit larger. Dude, now it's like a large sidewinder. Dude, what the heck is happening? Wow. This is just insane to watch in real time. Is it finally dissipating? Maybe. Maybe it's finally dissipating. Man. All right, he thinks it is roped out. After likely being on the ground for what, 30 minutes. 30 minutes this was on the ground. Wow. How long has he been in this one spot? He's been in this one spot for about, look at that. For about 18 minutes. He has just been staying in the same spot with the tornado right in front of them, right in front of him the whole time. Is that it again? It's there. It's still there. Look at that. It's still there. What? It is still on the ground. Wow. That's just crazy. Now it's another sidewinding rope. The rotation is a lot weaker, but it's still there. Look at that. I gotta screenshot that one. Screenshot. Wow. This is probably the most unique tornado I've ever seen in my life. But Connor got a really good one last year too, but this one, 30 minutes. 30 minutes of a tornado. And it was stationary for about almost 20 of those minutes. This is south of Kempner, Texas. It is approximately 5.7 miles southeast of Kempner, Texas. Tornado is about 16.7 miles way off to the southwest of Killeen, Texas. This is still a PDS tornado warning. Now you can see the whole area of rotation. Man. Give me a second. Yeah, Connor says it is recycling now. Man. I think that was the best. I think that was the best tornado I've ever seen. I think we have just witnessed the best tornado ever. As long as it didn't hit any homes. Yeah, rotation is fully died out. Rotation is completely gone. Still broad, and now it's very, very broad. You can see this is where it roped out right in front of Connor. So, hopefully it just hit some trees, and that's it. That was insane. This tornado did happen right on an outflow boundary, and that's the reason why it was stationary. I don't know if it's going to be able to do this again. It's still rotating way up there. It's still rotating. Man. Also, very random, but we just got a report of a very large wall cloud in Maryland. Let me see. Also, you guys are watching Connor. Yes, there is a hook echo now past Maryland. It is in far south central Pennsylvania, near Needmore, Pennsylvania. Tornado possible severe was just issued. This is up in Pennsylvania, where we have an area of rotation and a hook echo reported with a large wall cloud south of Needmore in south central Pennsylvania. The only tornado warning we have is a PDS tornado warning right now out here in Texas. And that expires in 3 minutes, so we'll get a new tornado warning shortly. Likely a radar-indicated normal tornado warning. They just extended the tornado possible severe, so who knows? Maybe they aren't going to tornado warn this right now. Maybe they'll just let that expire completely. Man. Jeez. Did they, I think the SPC had a 2% here in the afternoon, and they removed it. Let me go see. Okay, no, they didn't. I wanted to see that real quick. So they never had any tornado probabilities here at all. Got it. What an insane tornado. Connor is finally moving for the first time in over 20 minutes because this storm is slowly but now moving northeast. Whereas before it was stationary for like 20 minutes straight. I believe this could try again. We're going to go back to our scene here since Connor is now just driving along to try to get closer to this storm. So, yeah, let me go back to here. There we go. So we do have a new area of rotation that is forming. This is likely going to attempt to drop another tornado. It just finished occluding up here. Just finished occluding here, and it is now trying to produce another mesocyclone here. Another area of rotation, so we'll keep an eye on that. This could try to produce another tornado. This storm is still stationary. Look at this. This storm has been stationary much of the time as well. We'll see if that cell merge manages to impact this supercell at all. All right, we'll go back to our normal severe scene because I got some work to do on that severe scene. There you go. Well, that was very smooth removing that overlay. Did you see that? That was very satisfying. Hold on, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do that again. Watch the bottom overlay. That was really satisfying. But yeah, we got a new area of rotation just to the west of Ding Dong in Central Texas. So we'll keep an eye on that. Moving, this area of rotation is 10 miles to the southeast of Kempner, Texas. Connor Croft probably just got a copyright strike. He just played radio by accident. He just hit his radio on accident. That's why whenever I'm streaming in my car, I make sure to turn my radio down to 0, just in case. I turn it off. Well, I turn it on, turn it down to 0, and then turn it off. Just in case, because you never know when something like that will happen and you just accidentally hit the button. You never know. So we're going to keep an eye on that area of rotation west of Ding Dong, Texas. So we'll keep an eye on that. We're going to monitor this storm. It is now been downgraded. Actually, just got upgraded. It just got upgraded right now. Back up to 2-inch hail. So I think that was it for today. That's why I went live. I went live for a briefing, but shoot. When I saw this storm fire, I knew it was going to be trouble. So we stayed on longer. We'll see if it tries again here over the next couple minutes, and if it doesn't, then that's going to be it. It was an outflow boundary induced tornado there. You see, rotation is still trying to spark up. We shall see. And by the way, wind shear did increase on this storm. So that is another reason why this was able to drop a strong tornado. Lower level wind shear increased to almost 80 helicity, which is not a lot. Like I said, we look for 150 for strong tornadoes, but 80 is more than 30. So we'll see if this can try again. I know for sure it's going to try it here. I think it has 55 minutes. Yeah, it's it looks like it's going to try again. It's really rotating. Yeah, really all it took was a little wind shear. Even just 30 0 to 1 kilometer helicity was enough for it to start rotating. And then once it increased to 80, that's when it put down the intense tornado. When it increased more, it took off. 6,500 instability and an increase in wind shear. It just took off. I do want to briefly go all the way back up here to Pennsylvania. Yeah, you could see a good mesos developed on this storm in Pennsylvania. Wouldn't be shocked if that gets warned, considering we had a big wall cloud reported on it, but we'll just keep an eye on it. Oh, new tornado warning back out here in Texas. I'll pretend to be shocked. I mean, this storm looks like it's going to try again.
Tornado warning for northwestern Williamson County in south-central Texas, northeastern Burnett County in south-central Texas, Burnett, and Williamson County in Texas.
So that is a new tornado warning now that has been issued for this area of rotation that is sparking back up. You can see a hook is going again. It will have a cell merge. This storm's overshooting tops here and light rain is getting close to this storm's hook echo. So that's another reason why I believe it only has like 55 minutes tops to try and produce another tornado. That warning goes for 39 minutes. Southern Pennsylvania, actually a good environment. You got about 1,000 instability over that cell, that supercell. Now, what about wind shear? Because that's the question. I bet it's not bad. Wind shear is going to be 110 in the 0 to 1 kilometer level and 252 in the 0 to 3 kilometer level. So decent wind shear, especially for a spin-up tornado. And then good thermodynamics as well. New SPC outlook just came out. Hopefully that is the introduction of a... Wait, it just came out. That's an urgent update. We just got an urgent SPC outlook for a 2% tornado risk to be introduced. There you go. %2 tornado risk just got introduced here. Centered over Temple, Texas. Main tornado threat will definitely be with this cell here. Going towards Briggs, Texas. And I mean, it looks like it's about to drop again. I wouldn't be shocked if this is about to drop again here. Just to the west of Briggs. Wow. Looks like it's moving. It is moving southwest right now. It is moving southwest. Got a southwest moving supercell here. That is weird. My goodness, that is very weird. Let's see if the SPC... Okay, they didn't update their discussion, I don't think. But they did introduce that 2% tornado risk. Would not be surprised whatsoever if this is a tornado about to be or on the ground here. Wouldn't be surprised if it's on the ground just north of, what is this, Highway 183. Highway 183 in Central Texas. There we go. All right, Connor has a rain-wrapped visual. We'll switch to it just in case he gets it. Well, look at that. That's a better visual now. So, big bowl funnel. Big bowl funnel there. Attempting to drop a tornado. Man. Also, this has about 2-inch hail with it as well. Connor is on this highway. He's on Highway 183 looking right at this hook. So it is not on the ground right now. But you can see a big, big funnel here. Big bowl funnel. That is definitely trying to drop a tornado. If it does, it should head very close to Briggs. It's moving southwest right now, but it could easily shift more to the east here. So Briggs in Texas, you need to be in your safe spot. It's a very deviant, very, very deviant storm, so it easily could move at any direction. Literally any direction. Hard to tell if it's on the ground or not from Connor's vantage point. I don't see it on the ground. You're not able to see the dust at the bottom or ground at the bottom, so you can't confirm or not confirm a tornado. It doesn't look like a tornado right now. But definitely a big wall cloud for sure, trying to drop a tornado. Waiting for the next velocity scan here in 3 seconds. I'll give you an update. And now it has moved southeast, so it is heading right for Briggs. It just moved from directly southwest to directly southeast in the matter of 3 minutes. So this is going right for Briggs in central Texas. Still a chance it moves away from Briggs. It is a very deviant storm. All right, Connor's going to get on the move here in just a second. I want to bring you to the radar site. So there's your area of rotation. Still weak. Actually weakened quite a bit on that newest scan. But that hook echo is still very, very classic, if not more classic on this newest scan than the last one. So very, very easily could produce a strong tornado. Very easily could produce a strong tornado, and now heading right towards Briggs in central Texas. I'm not sure the population of this warning. Let me go check for y'all. 2,477 people, 2 schools, and no hospitals in this tornado warning. I believe Connor just said a tornado is on the ground now. Yes, he said a noodle is on the ground. So tornado ongoing according to Connor Croft. Going towards Briggs in Texas. It's very rain wrapped, so I can't see it from his feed. He's got, obviously, his own 2 eyes, which is much better than a camera. Unless you obviously like contrast enhance a camera. So noodle is on the ground according to Connor Croft. Which means a very small tornado. Small tornado ongoing according to Connor Croft Chaser there. Going towards Briggs, Texas. If you want to watch Connor Croft's feed, you can do so with the 3rd link in the description. Okay. Still radar indicated. There's no very clear visual of this being on the ground. Connor just said it is on the ground. But man, what a classic supercell. Very, very classic supercell. A big one, too. Wow. If it is on the ground, which Connor says it is, it's likely weak. Velocity doesn't indicate much strong rotation. It looks weak on velocity. All right, next velocity scan should be here in about 14 seconds. So Briggs in Texas, make sure you're in your safe spot. Downstream, this is still heading towards like Florence and eventually very late Liberty Hill. It shouldn't survive all the way to Liberty Hill, though. It should be weakening significantly by then. It's tightening right back up. Still weak velocity, but it is tightening right back up. All right, I'll switch on over to Connor Crop's feed because he said he's got a cone on the ground, or a cone about to be on the ground. See if we can see it at all. I can't tell. Definitely a wall cloud in front, but I can't make out any structure, really. I think that's it right in front of him. Right there. So right in there, it looks like we've got a cone tornado trying to touch down. It was a noodle tornado on the ground, according to Connor, and now it is trying to touch down as a cone tornado. Good news is this started moving southwest again, so it should stay west of Briggs, according to this newest scan. Yeah, you can clearly see a big bowl funnel now. So he was correct with a big bowl funnel developing there. We'll see if it touches down. Still not very strong on velocity, but it's trying. Hard to tell if it is on the ground. Let's see. I can't tell if it's a dust cloud or not. It's difficult to see from camera unless it's a strong tornado or a very photogenic tornado. You can really only tell that with rain wrap tornadoes from, you know, actually being there. Oh, that's probably on the ground. Connor said that's on the ground. I am in agreement there. That is likely a tornado on the ground. Looks like it's on the ground to me. Wow. So it's dropped another tornado here, possibly its third or fourth tornado. Depends on if it ever lifted. Depends on if it's lifted. All those cars, by the way, going by, not that way, but the other way, they're driving right into this. Because it's about across the highway. That car right there going right towards it. It's moving this way on Connor's end. So it's going to miss Connor, but it's going to go right across the road to the right off of his screen. It's just circling all around to the northwest of Briggs. It's been moving southwest, southeast, dead south. So just Briggs, Texas needs to be in their safe spot. As this is a tornado either on the ground or very close to being. It was on the ground there for a second. I can't really tell if it still is. You can definitely still see a very large funnel. But I can't tell if it's making any ground contact. Connor says it's a huge tornado all the way down. So, first day of May starts off with a ridiculous tornado. Probably the craziest tornado I've experienced. I mean, a stationary tornado for almost 20 minutes is wild. And now we've got another tornado trying to develop from this same storm. Rotation is stronger on that newest scan. It is a little bit stronger. It looks like it's up to 90 mile an hour rotation on that newest scan, whereas the old scan was about 70. It's now shifted, moving southeast again, so it's going right for Briggs yet again. Very, very, very deviant tornado. Very deviant. Whole storm is deviant. You see 50 on 97? I see like 55 on like 30. Yeah, 55 on 35 is what I got. Let me see this radar. Yeah, Radar Omega has 35 and 34. So it's right around. Let's see here. Are y'all using the lowest tilt and the closest radar site? I'll open up Radar Scope, see what Radar Scope says. Ah, that's weird. Yeah, you are dead right. Radar Scope has 56 on 67. Interesting. Same time. Let's see. 619. 619. Same time. Different wind speeds. Interesting. Interesting. Two radar sites say the same thing, and then Radar Scope has gone out on a limb and said something different. Still, either way, likely it is strong rotation. Likely is strong rotation there. Approaching Briggs, possible tornado. Connor had it on the ground briefly. And now he's lost visual. I don't see it on the ground on his end. So hopefully it is weakening. The hook is going back up. Having a full-scale rotation event out there in southern Pennsylvania. There's like 3-4 storms that are rotating, but not rotating enough to be tornadic. Like literally 3 semi-discrete supercells. One has a hook echo, and they are all rotating. Western Maryland, southern Pennsylvania. Still good rotation on the Texas tornado warning storm here. Still pretty good. It did weaken on that newest scan, but it is still gate to gate. It's still tight. It is on the ground via another chaser, and Connor has it on the ground now. Another chaser just confirmed a tornado on the ground, and Connor, just as I was talking, screamed big tornado on the ground. And it's moving, guess what? Now it's moving northwest. The newest rotation made it move northwest, newest scan. I'm telling you, it's deviant. We'll go back here to our radar. So there's your rotation. You can see, I'll show you. So at first it was up here, then over here, moved southwest, moved southeast, moved southwest, moved southeast, moved northwest. That is a very deviant tornado. Man. So that's going to go right towards Briggs still. Very close to Briggs, Texas. Wow. Yeah, 2 other chasers, including Connor, so 3. 3 chasers confirm this is on the ground. So it is a tornado on the ground here near Briggs in central Texas. Yeah, Gerald was 1997, but I'm very sure we've had multiple other storms that have traveled south-southwest. Maybe not one that's produced a big tornado like this, though, in quite a while. But I'm sure we've had another tornado that's moved southwest before. After 1997. But this is a very rare tornado. Why? Because it has almost no wind shear, very little wind shear, and the deviant motion with it, as well as its storm mode, doesn't typically favor a tornado. A southeast to south moving storm is not very favorable for tornadoes. And the fact it's been deviant is even crazier. And then, like I said, you have barely any wind shear either. So, just a couple more minutes left before this storm undergoes a cell merge and may not be able to intensify any further. It is a rain-wrapped deviant tornado. Wow. What a tornado. Let's see here. Okay. Lord have mercy. How did that intensify so quickly? I was not expecting that when I looked back at my screen. Jeez. Look at that. Jeez. That was a big jump scare. Alright, Connor's got a visual. It is not on the ground anymore. At least from what Connor just said. Connor just said this was the cone. And it's not on the ground there. So, I don't know. It could be rain wrapped. I don't know. That might not have been it, Connor. Connor was looking over here. It might actually be in this mess. Connor just said it is a huge circulation, and the circulation is even stronger. So maybe possibly the tornado lifted, and now it's trying to re-intensify and drop a big tornado. Which that is correlating with radar as well. I'm shocked this thing is still going. I didn't think it would be able to try again after that outflow boundary left it. I did not expect that. Look at that large area of strong rotation. I would not be shocked if this is about to be on the ground. And so that's going to head towards just west of Florence there. Let me zoom out here. Okay. I wanted to check something. I wanted to check. Alright, so still a good area of rotation there. Likely pretty strong. Could develop any second. And it's about to hit this merger. I mean, it really should start to die out here. Man. Not a new velocity scan there. I mean, Connor's just in a bunch of rain. He can't see anything on his feed. It's just heavy rain right now. Which, that's also true with reflectivity. You can see it's all heavy rain now. And there's your possible tornado right over the highway. I mean, this is stupidly dangerous. There's cars driving right into this huge rain-wrapped area. And if there's a tornado, it would have just passed right across the highway. It did break apart on that newest scan, so that's good. Hail should be still about 2-inch in diameter. Yep, 2-inch hail. It's not producing 4.5 like it was before. Let's see here. We had another significant tornado reported at 518 Central. So that would put it at this radar scan here. There was a strong tornado reported on the ground from a chaser. Man. Fingers crossed this is the end of it. Hopefully this is it. So we'll keep monitoring it. Hopefully it finally died out. It still is very, very classic. Jeez. Let me go to this. Yeah, so as long as that ZDR arcing, see this arcing right here? As long as that's in place, it's going to be able to rotate. As long as it keeps that good core right in here, it is going to keep on trying to rotate. And this merger, the merger's moving, I believe, south. No, it's moving east. Yeah, your merger's moving like east, maybe slightly northeast. And this storm's moving southeast. So it should hit that merger like now. It is hitting the merger right now. Wow. Brief intermission. New severe watch was just issued up here. 1 county east of Pittsburgh. So there's your new severe thunderstorm watch just issued there. I do want to go see the tornado probs on that, actually. 10-2, so there is a small chance of a spin-up tornado up here in this severe watch. 10 minutes left on that tornado warning. Still good area rotation west of Florence, Texas. Man. So it's currently like 2230 Z, I think. I'm trying to look at some data here. Yeah, it looks like models have this dying off in about an hour. It's likely fully lifted. I don't think this is on the ground. I don't believe it's on the ground anymore. I'm not too sure if any towns were hit. I really couldn't tell. I know there wasn't a bunch of population that this tornado went over, but it went over at least some homes. I just don't know if those homes were actually hit by the tornado. We'll figure that out when the NWS goes and surveys tomorrow. Yeah, so we no longer have a clean inflow notch. That is very important for long-lived supercells and tornadoes. Earlier, about 20 minutes ago, 15 rather, we had a very clean inflow slot here. And now, you can't even draw out that inflow slot. So that inflow notch is fully gone. Inflow notch is gone. Now the question is this cell merge going to be able to help the storm at all or completely kill it? I'm going to say fully kill it. I'm going to say it's going to be able to fully kill it. Oh, these different tornado risks. 3 of them. Big one up here, another one over here, and then the one we're currently tracking. They added this 2% on an urgent update 40 minutes ago. So we'll just keep an eye on this cluster. Also watching this one near Burnett, but I don't think it's going to do much with a limited lower level wind shear. And then, of course, you still have your... I mean, it is still a classic supercell. It's still a classic supercell. You still have your good ZDR arcing. You still have your split updraft eagle split supercell. You still have a defined hook echo. It's just the area of rotation is not very strong right now. All right, they're continuing that tornado warning.
Tornado warning for northwestern Williamson County in south-central Texas, northeastern Burnett County in south-central Texas, Burnett, and Williamson County in Texas.
There you go. So that's a new tornado warning for the next 50 minutes. I don't know if this is going to try to do it again or not. Let's see. There we go. So we're going to keep watching it just in case it tries to get its act back together. The environment it's heading into is still favorable. The issue is the issue is it has a lot more cell mergers around it now. But the environment is a lot less favorable in Austin. So it's still there's a small chance it has another opportunity to produce a tornado after this cell merge in about, I'd say, around an hour or so. Yeah, and then this other cell here, not much wind shear, so personally, I don't think it's going to be able to recycle from here on out. It's really, I'm very shocked it was even able to recycle a second time, to be honest with you. I didn't think it was going to be able to after that outflow boundary left it. Just got a PDS severe thunderstorm warning out here for apple-sized hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds. So that verifies the risk area for damaging winds as well. So 70-mile-an-hour winds, 2.5-inch hail, and a spin-up tornado were all the possible hazards today. And we saw all of them. We saw 4.5-inch hail and now 70-mile-an-hour winds. And we also saw at least 2 tornadoes, one of which was definitely strong. Let's see. I want to take a look at satellite real quick. All right, so, yeah. We'll just keep an eye on this storm and see if it tries to recycle. We do have tomorrow to get through as well. I don't know about tomorrow's risk as a whole at the moment, but I do think we'll be live probably for a few hours tomorrow. The HRRR is definitely very aggressive with how significant the risk may be. So we'll see what it shows tomorrow. After the MCS tonight, we'll be able to figure out how bad of a threat tomorrow may be. And then Saturday could also be pretty interesting, depending on how much CAPE we have. Saturday's fully dependent on instability. If we don't see a lot of CAPE, we're not going to see a lot of storms. Tornado risk on Saturday should be very low, really, regardless of what happens. So I'll be live tomorrow. It depends on what the risk looks like. If it's a notable risk, we'll be live around probably 3 p.m. Right around 3 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, if it looks like a very notable risk. If not, then we'll just do a quick hour live stream, like today was supposed to be. Today was supposed to be a 1-hour live stream. That didn't happen. It's the first day of May. What do you mean? The first day of May literally just brought the most photogenic and shape-shifting tornado and deviant motion tornado that we've seen all year. And it's day 1 of May. Like forecasting? What? What do you mean? There's a slight risk today, a slight risk tomorrow, a day 3 marginal, and then the western plains are still going to be active through the early portion of May as we have 2 big two very large low pressures that will cause multiple days of likely severe weather. I don't know if we're looking at the same model runs. May doesn't look quite to me. You're probably looking at like the Canadian or something. I don't see any huge outbreak threats, but May does not look quiet. Now, the middle of May, it looks like we might have a little bit of inactivity towards the middle of May, but there is plenty of time for that to change. The middle of May is a long time away. Let's see here. So we'll keep an eye on this one in Briggs. See if it can ramp back up as it's getting hit by this cell merge. Let's see here. Tornadoes have there been this week overall? Depends on when the week starts. I say the week starts on Sunday, but some people may say Monday, and it's currently Thursday. Let's see here. But I don't even know. We've had tornadoes this week. That's what I can tell you. I know we've had at least 10, but I don't know exactly how many. And they have to survey them, and the week's not even over either. We'll likely see at least another tornado tomorrow. At least one tornado tomorrow somewhere. That will likely end up being in Texas. And then on Saturday, we'll have a very low risk for a tornado on the East Coast. Okay. Trying to look for... There you go. ZDR. Yeah, you can still see your ZDR arcing clearly right in here. Well, now not really anymore. It's still there, though. I can still see it. Hopefully that's the end of this storm. Hopefully. It dropped at least 2 tornadoes, but likely more than that. Man. Man, are we actually at that many severes? We're at 25 severes right now. Gracious day. We are up to a bunch of severes. Most of these are normal severes, with the exception of these out here in Texas. Like, this one's significant, and this one is significant and destructive. Oh, and then we just got another significant severe just a moment ago. Northwest Texas Panhandle. Also, likely going to see a severe thunderstorm watch come out soon for the northern panhandle of Texas. Likely going to see a watch come out there soon. The chance of that, I believe, is 40%, but I'll go look just in case I'm wrong. 60%. 60%, actually. Man. Yeah, Connor just had some power flashes from RFD once I saw that. New mesoscale discussion for 4.25 inch hail, 80 mile an hour winds, and a weak tornado or two being possible. So mainly just big time hail and also the chance for 70 to 80 mile per hour winds right in this area. It's a lot of severe storms. I'm probably going to conclude here in 9 minutes. I know there's a lot of severe weather happening, but we've been live for so often. The main thing I wanted to cover was that tornado warning there. That PDS tornado warning especially. There's a small chance I come back on tonight. We'll definitely be live tomorrow for sure. I know we're concluding a bit early in the event. There's still going to be some large hail tonight. Probably going to see a softball or two. We probably are going to see a softball-sized hailstone or two tonight. And then we got that big-time damaging wind bag that's possible back out here in Texas. So there's going to be a lot of severe storms tonight. A lot of damaging winds and a lot of large hail. Damaging winds will really be up here. As you can see, we're already seeing significant damaging wind thunderstorms coming out there. And then we also will see very large hail back out in this area. And we could see a spin-up tornado or two, both in this southern risk area and then with this line tonight. So there is a chance I'll be back on tonight because there's going to be so much severe weather activity. So make sure you hit that notification bell after you've subscribed. But I want to go eat supper and I have some stuff I want to go do. We've been live so frequently that I haven't had time to do anything in the day. I have to get some stuff done in the day. So we'll be live tomorrow again as our active stretch of severe weather, going on 8 days now of active severe weather, continues. And yeah, and then like I said, there's also an opportunity I chase tomorrow. If I'm not live tomorrow, that means I'm chasing. I'll let you guys know in the community post if I decide to. And Saturday has a lot higher chance of a chase day. That looks like a pretty good supercellular threat in Western Virginia and Western NC on Saturday. So I'll watch that closely. We are now tornado warning list. So I'm going to get my tail off of here ASAP before we get another tornado warning. That way I could say I ended under no tornado warnings. But we still have plenty of severes. 26 severe thunderstorm warnings. So many severe storms. Please remain hyper weather aware. I know I'm getting off pretty early. I apologize, but I'm hungry and I have some stuff I want to go do. So just make sure you stay weather aware. Like I said, there's a chance I'll be back on tonight, but I will definitely be live at some point tomorrow. If storms are really bad, we'll hop on early, 3 p.m., maybe 4 p.m. tomorrow. If storms look like they'll be really bad, could get an enhanced risk tomorrow. If it doesn't look like they'll be bad, then we'll hop on a little bit after that. And that all comes down to this line here. If this line is long, if it is a long line that stretches like this long, it's going to take out the instability for our severe threat tomorrow. If it is not a long line, that will leave an untapped environment to the south, and thus it could be a big day tomorrow, especially for hail and maybe even a few spin-up tornadoes tomorrow. Let me go ahead and show you where. Yeah, specifically in this area. And it all comes down to how long that MCS is. And also probably north of that too. Probably north of that too. If I go ahead and show you real quick. since we do have a bit more time. Yeah, see, if that line doesn't form, big time supercells start firing tomorrow around 2:30, 3 p.m. And then they rapidly intensify and they become big issues all day tomorrow. Big time issues all day tomorrow. Damaging winds, very large hail, and a few spin up tornadoes. And then Saturday, we could see a slight risk for severe weather out in this area. Yeah, Proxy, I think you'll see something. I'm unsure exactly what it will be, but I'm pretty sure you'll see something out there Saturday. So plenty of severes, quite a few significant, and now 2 PDS severes. Where's that second one for? Oh, that's for this one. 2.75 inch hail. So before we end, make sure you hit that like button, share the channel with family, friends, social media. I appreciate all 3,000 of you tuning in to this live stream. There's a few other people live now that you can definitely go watch for live coverage. Please go watch them. Just make sure you're hyper weather aware. That's the important thing. Make sure you're hyper weather aware if you are in the risk area. Like I said, there's a chance I'll come back on tonight, and I definitely will be live tomorrow. Austin, Texas. Where is Austin? Why can't I remember where Austin is? Yeah, that could see some storms tonight, mainly hail and damaging winds. Tornado threat should stay low. Should have a low tornado threat in Austin there. Probably in about an hour. Probably about an hour, hour and a half from now. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Like I said, my apologies for ending pretty early. Thankfully, though, we're ending under 0 tornado warnings. 0 tornado warnings here currently active. So that is absolutely awesome. I may see you guys tonight. I will definitely see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, mods, for Mod Chat. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Only planned for an hour stream. Ended up being 3 hours with potentially one of the craziest tornadoes we've seen in a long time. Definitely the craziest tornado this year in terms of just shape-shifting and deviant motion and moving southeast. So absolutely crazy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Tennessee, scattered thunderstorms, no tornado risk. Stay safe, watch severe weather, and I'll see you guys definitely tomorrow. Yeah, have a great rest of your Thursday night. Goodbye. Stay safe, watch your weather. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's live stream. Have a fantastic rest of your Thursday night. Thank you much for on chat. Good.